Okay, hi, good morning. This is Wednesday, Parshat Shmoth, 5776, the fourth aliya. Umoshe haya ro'eh es tzon Yisro chosno kohen midyon vayinhag es hatzon achar hamidbar vayavo el har ha'elohim choreva. So Moses becomes a shepherd. He's one of the shepherds. All of our forefathers and Moses included, David included, these were the 7 shepherds. We tend to follow the emotional and feeling of a shepherd towards his flock. That is the parable that we use for a leader of the Jewish people. May it once again be personally felt by each of us. Vayera malach Adonai elav belabas eish mitoch hasneh vayar v'hinei hasneh bo'er bo'eish v'hasneh einenu ukol. So an angel of Hashem, of God, appears in a flame within a bush, particular kind of a bush, a sneh, and he sees, here is a site where the bush is burning in fire and the bush is not consumed. Vayomer Moshe asura na ve'er'eh es hamar'eh hagadol hazeh madua lo yiv'ar hasneh. So Moses says, actually out loud, he makes an exclamation, it seems, let's go look at this site, this great site. Why is it that the bush is not being consumed? Vayar Adonai kisar liros vayikra elav Elohim mitoch hasneh vayomer Moshe vayomer hineni. So Hashem sees that Moses stops to look. Quite an extensive narration over here about the whole story. And in response to that fact that Moses stops to look, God speaks to him and says, Moses, Moses, from within the bush, God says, Moses, Moses, and Moses answers, I am here, hineni. Vayomer al tikrav halom shal na'alecha me'al raglecha ki hamakom asher ata omed olav admas kodesh hu. So the voice in the bush says to Moshe, do not get close. Do not get close unless, halom, you're ready to take off your shoes off your feet, because this is a place where you are about to stand that is kodesh. It is holy. It is separate. And you, as a human being enveloped in physicality, have no ability to really enter here and stay. The only way you can enter, Moses is told, if you are ready to take your shoe off. There's another place in Torah where we need to take off our shoe, and that is by chalitza. There is halacha in Torah that if a person dies and he is childless, then if he has a brother, that brother, irrespective of whether that brother is married or whatever position that brother might be in, as long as he is old enough to carry on relations, the brother who is still alive has a responsibility to do what we call yibum, which is to marry, have relations at least once, in order to impregnate his sister-in-law, who does not have any children from his dead brother, and that child will have the standing, the halachic standing of the dead brother. Today, we do not do this. We do something called chalitza. Chalitza involves the man who is supposed to marry his dead brother's wife. He takes off his shoe, and the dead brother's wife, his sister-in-law, his ex-sister-in-law now, I guess, spits into the shoe, and she is now released. She is not only a widow, but she is also no longer a shomeres yibam. She is no longer required to marry her dead brother's brother, and it is a form of divorce from that halachic obligation to marry her dead husband's brother. Why do we take off our shoe in that situation? And what does it have to do with Moses taking off his shoes in this situation? The reason that we do not do yibum and we do chalitza is because in order to do chalitza, we need to sleep with our dead brother's wife. It's not a permitted relationship. If a person has a brother who is divorced, he's not allowed to go and marry his ex-sister-in-law. If he has a brother who has had children and then that brother dies, he's never allowed to marry his sister-in-law. It's a prohibited relationship. Here, he must involve himself in a prohibited relationship. In order to do that, he must divest himself of any personal physical pleasure or physical cheshbon, any kind of a plan in his head that might be involved, any intention that is not pure in order to bring a child into the world who will take the place of his brother, is very difficult to do today, to divorce oneself from pleasure during a sexual act. I don't know if we can do that yet. So we do chalitza. That is the symbol. We take the shoe off. We take the physicality off of ourselves. That is what we should have done. We can't do it, so we get our shoe physically taken off and spat in as well by our dead brother's wife. Chas v'shalom. So, Moses is the only person in all of history who was ever asked, do you want to take off your shoes in this manner? Do you want to divest yourself of physicality? Moses is the only character in all of Torah that was celibate after he became Moses the Redeemer in Egypt. He no longer had relationship with his wife. Once he went up to Har Sinai, she was completely separate from him. Moses over here is asked by God, do you want to know? Do you want to see? Do you want to stand in a place that's completely separate from anyone else? You need to take off your shoes in order to do that. And he calls out to Moshe, and Moshe says, I'm here, I'm ready. I want to see, I want to know. The very fact that this bush that was burning from the very beginning of time, we're told. It's one of the things that was created in the twilight zone of history. That very first Shabbat, Erev Shabbat, right before the creation was completed, right before man was made, these are the things that were made. And the burning bush was one of those things. So that means it's been sitting there burning for a long time. And what? Nobody noticed? Nobody walked over to see it? Nobody paid attention to it? No, only Moses. That's why the pasuk makes such a big deal and says that it was there, and Moses saw, and Moses turned, and he looked, and he says, whoa, let's go and see. And God says, whoa, look, he's coming to look. It's because things that do not pertain to us, pertain to our purpose, are either God-given purpose or to our own assimilated purpose. If it doesn't match what we want to see, we call it cognitive dissonance, and we just don't see it. Moses, his whole life was dedicated to this, to achieving clarity. And therefore he was ready to take off his shoes. Vayomer Anochi Elohei Avicha Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Velohei Yaakov Vayaster Moshe Panav Ki Yarei Mehabit El HaElohim. So the voice from the bush says, I am the God of your fathers, of Abraham, of Isaac, of Jacob. And Moses is afraid. Moses covers his face. He's Master Panav. He covers his face because he is afraid to look at Elohim. Here it uses a term not as it used before of Hashem, Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, but a term of Elohim, which means judgment, strict judgment. So this was a fearsome vision. Vayomer Adonai ra'o ra'isi es oni ami asher b'mitzrayim ve'es tza'akasam shamati mipnei nogsav Ki yodati es mach'ayvav. So now we go back to the name of Hashem, which is the character trait of mercy, says, I have seen the poorness of my nation in Egypt. I have seen their cries. I have heard that they have cried because of those who torture them, and I know their pains. Because they're all his. How do we feel? We feel because we have a soul. What's the soul? The soul is him. So he already feels it. He feels everything that we feel. Imagine not only feeling through every nerve ending in your body, but feeling through every nerve ending in everybody else's body. Whoa. Va'ered lahatzilo miyad Mitzrayim ulahaloso el haaretz hahi es eretz toiva urechava el eretz zavas chalav udevash el mekom hakanani v'hachiti v'haemori v'haperizi v'hachivi v'hayevusi. I will come down to save them from the hand of Egypt, and to bring them up from the land of Egypt to the land, to the good land, to the broad open land, to the land of flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaani, the Chiti, the Emori, the Perizi, the Chivi, and the Yevusi. On the surface, it would seem that the beginning of the verse and the end of the verse are kind of contradictory. It's called a land flowing with milk and honey, and a whole handful of enemies. So there's a pattern that we see in God's relationship with us, with Klal Yisrael, with the land of Israel. In many places we see that God says, I have given them to you, meaning the land or your enemy. Now go and conquer them. Now go and take it. Because the givingness of the thing is up to God. God decides that this is how it's going to be. And then the doingness of the thing is for this realm. And that's what we're for. So we need to go out and actually do it. And the very place of the enemies where we need to conquer, where we need to excel, that's the place where eventually there will be milk and honey flowing. V'ata hinei tzakas b'nei Yisrael ba elai v'gam ra'isi es halachatz asher Mitzrayim lochatzim osam. Now the cry of the Jews have come to me, and I have seen the pressure that Egypt has put them under. V'ata lecha ve'eshlachacha El Paro v'hotzei es ami b'nei Yisrael mimitzrayim. And now go, I'm sending you to Paro to take my nation out, the children of Israel from Egypt. Vayomer Moshe el ha'Elohim mi anochi ki elech el Paro v'chi otzi es b'nei Yisrael mimitzrayim. So Moshe says to God, who am I to go to Paro and to take the Jews out of Egypt. Vayomer ki ehye imach v'zeh lecha ha'oz ki anochi shilachticha b'hotziacha es ha'am mimitzrayim ta'avodun es ha'elohim al hahar hazeh. So Hashem says to Moshe, I will be with you, and a sign that I have sent you is that when you take them out from Egypt, you will come and serve me, serve God, on this very mountain. There's a lot of difficulties, that pasuk. Vayomer Moshe el ha'Elohim, hinei anochi ba el bnei Yisrael, va'amarti lohem Elohei avoseichem shalachani aleichem, va'omro li mashmo ma'omar aleihem. So Moshe says to God, now starts this big negotiation, this very complicated negotiation between Moshe and God. And Moshe says, okay, fine. So I'm going to come to the Jews, and I'm going to say to them that the God of your fathers has sent me to you. And they will ask me, what's his name? What should I tell them? Vayomer Elohim el Moshe ehye asher ehye, vayomer kotomar livnei Yisrael ehye shalachani aleichem. So Hashem says to Moshe, I will be what I will be. Tell them like this, ehye. Tell the Jews, ehye has sent me to you. Vayomer od Elohim el Moshe kotomar el bnei Yisrael Adonai Elohei avoseichem Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Velohei Yaakov shalachani aleichem Ze shmi la'olam v'ze zichri l'dor dor. And furthermore, Hashem said to Moshe, say to them as this, to Bnei Yisrael, Yud Kei Vav Kei, a revelation of a name that mostly was not known, used by Klal Yisrael up until that time, was not really given to the Avos, we're told to use, until now. But this Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei, the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, of Yitzchak, of Yaakov, he has sent me to you, and this is his true name, all the time. This is God's name through which he is remembered, through which he is called in every generation. Yud Kei Vav Kei.